WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
PM Magazine.
Out of 60,000 hopefuls, 17 Magazine picked one of these pretty teenagers to be this month's cover girl. This afternoon on PM Magazine, you'll meet the winner.
Then, former Orioles pitcher Jim Palmer made such a hit in his jockey shorts that a few more O's have gotten into the act. See how they feel about performing out of uniform.
And we'll meet the man who organized and choreographed the balloon launch at the Summer Olympics and more recently at the opening of River Place near downtown Minneapolis.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PM Magazine. I'm Steve Doyle.
And I'm Pat Brown. And tonight, Steve and I are visiting Horst and Friends International in the Lumber Exchange Building in downtown Minneapolis.
Now, imagine, if you will, a beauty contest with 60,000 entrants. Well, that's how many young women entered the 1984 cover model contest for 17 Magazine.
PM Magazine follows the 8 finalists to New York to find out which of these young beauties will be 17's new queen.
There you go. Big eyes at me. There you go. Good.
She was only 17 when she was sexy. She was only 17 that she loved me. 17 years out.
There were 8 of them between 13 and 18 years old. They were beautiful, and they were all in New York for the same reason, a chance at the cover of 17 Magazine.
17 years out.
17 has a history of working with unknowns. We discover a lot of people, modeling agencies who discover young girls, send them over to us, and we are willing to take the time to work with girls who are not professionals. And young girls who are our readers between the ages of 12 and 19, I think, dream of someday being on the cover of 17. So we decided to try and make that dream come true for one girl out there. So we came up with the idea for the contest.
Midge Richardson is the editor of 17 Magazine, and the idea was to hold a cover girl contest for undiscovered young women all over the country. There were 60,000 entries. Department stores at the local level whittled that number down to 500 or so. And from that group, 8 finalists were selected by the 17 Magazine staff. We're told the decision was a tough one, and for the 8 girls who got the nod, getting flown to New York for 3 days of photo sessions was the kind of thing that dreams are made of.
This is something that a lot of people just dream of doing.
I was shocked. I was in tears practically.
It's so exciting to be in New York City.
It's incredible. The people are incredible. And the horns don't stop honking on the street here.
But here it's like they hit you with a bomb. I mean, they're pushy, they're mean, they're rude, they don't care.
Yeah, it's a lot faster paced and everybody seems a little more confused. But I really enjoy it. I love it.
Yes, Manhattan is definitely an island unto itself. For Lisa Sundry, not much like her native Honolulu. And for Rachel Dillman, the farmhands in Warrington, Virginia look a little different than they do in New York. Nevertheless, the big city proved to be very exciting. For most of the girls, it was their first shot at a photo session.
Each girl that comes in front of a camera is going to have a different bunch of problems. Little Suzanne, the redhead, like a gazelle, very long neck, very thin, very fine features, very quiet, a quiet girl, quiet personality. So I kind of adjust around that. I'm not going to try and get something out of her she doesn't have. She's a little quieter, so you do a little quieter picture and pull the beauty out of her that way. Diana Mossy has got a great 17 face. They love her face. She'll do well.
They all did well. At an ice cream social thrown in their benefit, the 8 finalists met representatives from major New York modeling agencies. 4 of them signed contracts. What began as a weekend fantasy for high school teenagers suddenly became a very rare opportunity. A 17 Magazine layout for sure, a cover for the winner, Also, a Pontiac Fiero. And for some, a bright start at a new career.
I've been approached by, Eileen Ford and Wilhelmina, Elite.
For me, this is it, this is the fun part. This is, what it's all about. We get to go to New York and have a really good time.
Well, it's not important. I would love to be on the cover of 17, but I consider all the 8 finalist winners.
If I were to get on the cover, people would see my face, and they'd know my name.
For 18-year-old Rachel Dillman, this contest holds a certain irony. You see, she won. She also signed a contract with the Ford Modeling Agency and is now in New York shooting television commercials for Pepsi, among others. But as for the car, well, that's back in the farm in Warrenton, Virginia. You see, when you want to launch a career in New York, you have to taxi around before you really take off.
17's editors felt that Rachel best exemplified the young, healthy, all-American look that they were searching for. And it's a look that's in demand. Rachel is well on her way to making over $100,000 this year, and she's only been making the rounds for a month.
Next, a brief look at the Baltimore Orioles and the man who holds the record for the largest balloon launch ever.
Keep your eye on this sticker for big savings on CBS records and cassettes. Original hit albums by The Jacksons, Cheap Trick, Dan Fogelberg, James Taylor, Janie Fricke, Kenny Loggins, Chicago, Neil Diamond, Aerosmith, Charlie McLean, Willie Nelson, Billy Joel. Hundreds more to choose from. Follow the nice price sticker to big savings on CBS records and cassettes.
Now only $3.79 through Saturday at Target stores.
Coolers are very big with some people, but at times they're just too heavy, and you get a burning desire for a taste like 7-Up. Just imagine, light, crisp, clean,